Hello everyone. What a refreshing talk Anna just gave. That was really great. And I do love the push for waste avoidance because that's something close to my heart. So today I'm going to talk about our litter prevention program, tackling packaging in Waverley. And I'll start with a bit of an outline. So I'll go through the background with respect to the litter issues in Waverley, some of the previous programs we've done in the past to address takeaway packaging, and where we are today with our Bondi plastic-free Bondi program, and the next steps. So just to put this in context, Waverley is a small council area. We're 9 kilometers squared, but we have the second most dense population in New South Wales, and we have a heap of visitors that come to our beautiful beaches every summer. So we can get upwards of 80,000 people per day coming to Bondi Beach, and this is through the Opal data. So as you can imagine, we have a heap of litter issues associated to that volume of people. So in 2016, we identified that takeaway packaging related to food and drinks was the most littered item on our beaches. As a result, we tackled this issue with broad community awareness campaigns, such as the Bennett Don't Swim in It campaign, using our Bondi lifeguards, and also the Hay Tosser campaign that the EPA has promoted. And then in 2017, we embarked on a large-scale litter prevention program called Bondi Unwrapped with the help of the New South Wales EPA Better Waste Recycling Fund. And the litter prevention program incorporated the 4 key elements that the EPA has identified to reach success, and that includes education and awareness, infrastructure improvements, regulation and enforcement, and monitoring and evaluation. So over that year, we achieved a reduction of 50% in takeaway packaging litter on Bondi Beach, which was amazing. But we recognized that we needed to do more to sustain this change. So we focused on businesses and reducing single-use plastics at the source. We invited businesses to discuss barriers to becoming single-use plastic-free. We held 2 forums for this purpose and learned that our businesses were confused by terms like compostable, biodegradable, degradable, and what does sustainable packaging even mean? With all the greenwashing language in the marketing industry, this wasn't a surprise. Businesses were also concerned about the cost associated to make a change in regards to more sustainable packaging, and the time it would take to embed this change with their staff. So as a result, we decided to dig a bit deeper. So we conducted packaging assessments at 40 businesses to identify the types of packaging that were leaving our businesses. And then we did a life cycle analysis on those packaging items and identified alternative solutions that were more sustainable. So once we were fueled with a baseline of knowledge, we embarked on a community-led business engagement program to assist businesses on their plastic-free journey. So I'm just going to show you a video. All right, I might just move on. The video that I was going to show is a promotional video of the Plastic Free Bondi campaign that was developed by the community group, and I can send the link around if anybody's interested. So the purpose of the business engagement program was to create a long-lasting movement to reduce single-use plastics entering a community from the point of source. But how could my small team of 3 people at Waverley Council achieve this? We didn't have the resources to go and visit businesses face-to-face and discuss their solutions. So again, with the New South Wales Better Waste Recycling Fund, we found our opportunity. The state government approved a trial to commission a community group to lead our engagement program. We underwent an expression of interest, and we engaged a team of 2 experienced, passionate community leaders. Alicia Lloyd and Harriet Spark, who you might be familiar with. They led the Plastic Free Manly program. And with these passionate, experienced leaders in the helm, we were able to take a driver's seat and watch the behavior change. These are some of the images of the collateral that they developed for the campaign. The 3 posters you see on the right are posters for businesses to display in their window once they've achieved an initiative towards becoming plastic-free. So Alicia and Harriet had a fair bit of work to do. They established a Plastic-Free Bondi community group and invited volunteers to participate. However, they were strategic in the way that they invited those volunteers. They identified 7 key roles that were required to deliver the program. The roles included a volunteer manager, event manager, and a social media campaign manager. The volunteer roles, complete with position descriptions, were advertised and qualified people were recruited. A total of 25 volunteers participated in the community group and under specific roles, and 17 of those volunteers were trained to do the face-to-face business engagement. And that training was modeled on the Plastic Free Manly program, where they underwent role-playing and brainstormed some of the problems they might face when they were talking to businesses. And then throughout their face-to-face engagement program, which lasted 3 months, they held feedback sessions so that volunteers could take from each other some of the learnings and be the most successful they could be. So Council had a role to play in all of this. We partnered with Plastic Free Bondi to create a list of resources for businesses to assist them in their plastic-free journey. And that included a team training guide for staff, a 3-step communication guide to promote their businesses and their sustainable initiatives, and a sustainable procurement guide. I'm hoping I can show you the sustainable procurement guide. I'll just click on the link and see what happens. That's not opening, that's okay. So just an overview, the procurement guide provides a description of various alternatives to single-use plastics. And this was based on some of the initial research that we had done with the life cycle analysis. And it utilizes the triple bottom line of sustainability so that environmental, social, and economic benefits are realized. And the resources are available on the Plastic Free Bondi website, which is there. And businesses can register on the website and download resources for free. So the campaign was officially launched in October 2018 at a beach cleanup event at Bondi Beach. And the purpose of the event was to bring all the volunteers together and create a bit of collaboration and excitement around the campaign. The event was widely attended and had a host of locally famous icons such as the Bondi lifeguards. And later in the summer, we held another cleanup to keep the momentum going. Following the launch event, volunteers paired up, where each pair was assigned to one of the 12 commercial sectors to do their face-to-face engagement. And 2 rounds of engagement were undertaken over a 3-month period, where volunteers aimed to revisit that business at least twice. And these activities were tied in with a social media campaign that highlighted the program and showcased businesses that had made steps towards becoming plastic-free. So what was the outcome? Of the 200 businesses in Bondi, a third were approached face-to-face to talk about sustainable takeaway packaging. 78% of businesses were surveyed to identify opportunities for changing to more sustainable packaging. 19% identified a sustainability packaging that was suitable for them, and they made that change immediately and put a poster in their window to advertise that they had made that step. 31 new venues registered with a community-led sustainability initiative, like the Last Straw. So there was a strong online engagement with the business community, with 286 Facebook followers and 814 Instagram followers. And the Plastic Free Bondi website was actively being used by businesses to download resources and showcase businesses that had made a start towards ditching single-use plastics on the Wall of Fame. That's what you see here. Some have tackled straws and others have started a mug library. This is a great way to recognize businesses that have become sustainable in our community. And in fact, from our social media campaign, we learned that the business story about their journey to become plastic-free was a key motivator in other businesses doing the same. So the Wall of Fame has real value to us. So, measures of success. Well, we feel that we met the business's needs as identified through our initial outreach. Businesses have been provided with resources to make that change towards becoming plastic-free. They've got a procurement guide that offers sustainable choices, and I should mention that the procurement guide also has a list of providers so they can source those sustainable products easily. And this is one of the advantages of having a community-led program. They have more flexibility in the types of information they can relay to their stakeholders, whereas if it was a council-led initiative, we'd have some constraints around procurement and wouldn't be able to provide the same level of detail. Having local members of our community lead the program and advocate for plastic-free options has the potential to create long-term change, as it's a community conversation generating the behavior change rather than a council-led conversation. The program leaders were experienced and qualified to develop a targeted business campaign with accompanied communication and engagement materials that met the mark. And these are all things that we can continue to use as the campaign progresses. Through the EPA's Better Waste Recycling Grant, Council has funded the program, which costs $20,000 over a 6-month period, and we feel that this is a small expense to pay for great reward. We now have all the resources and the volunteer program in place and the community momentum to keep the program going. So what did we learn from all this? Well, the time frame was too tight to measure any change in the business engagement and their uptake of the plastic-free initiatives, as it was only a 3-month stint where the face-to-face engagement occurred. So we realized we need to do further engagement to check in with businesses and measure their progress. We also need to take into account volunteer turnover, especially during the summer when people blow in and blow out of Bondi. Several key volunteers ended up moving out and weren't able to continue their role in the campaign. And there's no assurance that volunteers will meet their commitments as they are unpaid and they have little accountability for their work. So these are some of the challenges to overcome moving forward. And actually, we've started to address some of those challenges through some planning exercises. So in April 2019, we hosted a strategic planning workshop for plastic-free Bondi to establish direction and goals for the campaign moving forward. The session was externally facilitated and led to the development of a strategic plan that has been adopted by the group. The group agreed to become incorporated, and this is amazing because it provides more structure with respect to roles and responsibilities, a strategic direction with deliverables, and offers opportunity to obtain grant funding and financial security. The group agreed on the areas of focus for the next year, which includes business engagement, community activities, and finalizing the incorporation process. And finally, a memorandum of understanding has been drafted with Council to outline our partnership and how Council can continue to support the program. For example, we would offer space for meetings and events at no cost and provide resourcing for events and educational materials, and even sourcing experts and consultants when required. So at this stage, I feel that we have great measures in place to ensure that the Plastic-Free Bondi campaign continues and meets its target of reducing or eliminating takeaway packaging at the source. So if you have any questions.